BlaXit family. Apologies, slightly tardy today, a little bit late. But BlaXit family, how are you? How are you today? I hope you're well. It's Thursday. It's about 8 o'clock, I believe. Oh, I left my phones. Seth, would you mind bringing me my phones, please? Kath, would you mind just passing me my phones, please, and a glass of water? Let's prepare for today. What a juicy discussion we're going to have today. As I promised, we are going to talk a bit about, it's BlaXit T-shirt day today. So today we are going to talk a bit about repatriation and what it means to you as well, and why I was saying it. As you know, the world has changed in the last week since we spoke, with what's going on in Gaza and Israel and so many other things around the world. So many other things around the world. But anyway, BlaXit, welcome to BlaXit. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I'd like to say thank you for coming and joining us today. And thank you for joining this live. I'm trying to make it a regular occurrence where we go live on Thursdays at around 7 o'clock GMT and around 8 o'clock Gambian time. So I guess I'm slightly late actually. I didn't realize. So, but I was trying. Maybe I should make it 7:30 or maybe 8:30. But I didn't also want to make it too late. So welcome anyway. Thank you for joining. And this is going to be broadcast. So whether you're live or not, whether you're joined in the discussion or not, it's okay. We're going to talk about. Thank you so much. We're going to talk about some issues today, but I want to do. Thank you so much. I want to do some. That's Kath and that's Seth, everybody, and we're the BlaXit family. And our backstory is that we came to the Gambia, we repatriated, we left from England. We used to live in England and we left England and we came to the Gambia to live. And BlaXit basically means it's your exit from the West back to the best, and that is Africa. We believe that everyone should have a choice for freedom. And we're Garveyites, and we apply the Garveyite principle. And we do feel it's important for you, even if you don't go to live, to at least return to the land which was the roots of your ancestors for many of us in the diaspora. And we encourage this. Marcus Garvey was a trailblazer. My name is Juliet. If you don't know, my name is Juliet. And I'm the founder of this platform. I'm the founder of BlaXit. And I was supported and helped by Wodamaya. And Wodamaya is a fantastic YouTuber and influencer who has really changed the narrative of Africa. So I'm always grateful to him every day. But I'd like to say a special tribute as well to one of our team members who is currently in hospital. So I'd like to say a very special tribute to KD, who's also got a channel which is called Perspective. And he has been with us for a couple of years now. And he's been doing the editing, the droning, and also filming. Amazing work. And he is missed dearly. And we hope he makes a speedy recovery. So I'm sending all my love out to you. I know that you may not be able to watch this because there's not great signal where you are. So I'd just like to say that all of the team at BlaXit are sending you well wishes and wishing you well. So we hope that you make a speedy recovery and you come back to us very soon. We miss you. Okay, so without further ado, I'm Juliet, like I was saying, and we're the BlaXit family. And BlaXit family is everyone that engages with us on the channel. And we have, I haven't checked recently, but I know it's over 4 million viewers to the channel. And we have over 58,000 subscribers, almost 59,000, I think it is. I'm not sure, I haven't checked recently, but it's close to that. So please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please join the channel. And we're going to start making and putting out regular content. We had a bit of a break, a little bit of a hiatus. Firstly, because I was writing and I wanted to continue writing. I also wanted to reset the company and make changes and bring new people on board. So that has been an arduous task because it does take a lot of effort and time to implement things and put things in place, especially when you're going from strength to strength and you want to expand. So you have to get the foundation right. And in saying that, today's show is about getting the foundations right, because a lot of people have asked me a lot of questions, actually, which I'm really grateful for. And if you'd like to ask me any questions, you can do. You can just give me an email at info@blaxithome.com. That's info@blaxithome.com. Also like to remind people about what was it? The other TV channel. There's another TV channel I wanted to promote today. A BB Tummy TV I wanted to promote. So please, everybody, do go there. It's a fantastic channel by Dr. Cambon. And please, let's patronize each other's channels and support each other's channels. So do watch Wodamar, do watch Perspective, and please do go to a BB Tummy, bbtummy.com. So without further ado, I want to talk about our subject today, which is setting the foundation. How do you set the foundation for when you want to return to Africa? So let's say, imagine you're an average family, or maybe you're a single person, or you could be employed, you could be a homeowner, you might not be a homeowner. So I want to talk about how to lay the foundation to leave, how do you actually get to do it, because that is where the stumbling block is for many people. So for this program, you need to grab a pen and paper. This is really instructional. So I want you to go through a process with me, and we're going to call this setting the foundation to leave, to go back home. So this is your BlaXit foundation. How do you BlaXit back? Got to have the intention. So number one is to have the intention. If you don't have the intention, then you won't be able to even make the first step. And the first intention is actually writing it down, is actually committing your mind to it and saying, yes, I want to leave, I've had enough, and the reasons why. Justify for your own self the reasons why you need to leave. And that's important, because that's what makes you stay. That's what motivates you to stay. Like, for example, with me, one of the important things that really struck me was the fact that when I came here, it just felt like home to me. And I wanted to have somewhere that I could, like, getting all cozy in here. I wanted to have somewhere that I could settle and feel like I feel comfortable and I feel safe and I feel welcomed. Those are the things that Seth, it's happening again. This computer does some odd things. So sorry, guys. I'm trying to get rid of this thing off the screen. I don't know why this happens with this. Oh, there's a mouse here now. Hang on, I'll use the mouse. Yeah, there we are. Sorry about that interruption there. So yeah, what I was saying is that it's setting your intention. So say, for example, when I came, I felt so fantastic. I just felt at home. I felt free. And in fact, I cried so much. I didn't want to get on the plane to go back. That's when I knew that I'd found the place for me. That's when I knew, like, the penny had dropped. All open in South African countries. This one struck for me. And I think because I've been hearing like stories before through the family, so I think that also resonated with me. And so there was many things, that resonated with me. Plus, it's the home of roots. and I was an avid watcher of Roots, Kunta Kinte Roots. And so to be, in the place where that was made is just phenomenal. But the people, the atmosphere, the beaches, the food, the environment, I just said, I got to have a piece of this, I got to have peace. And literally peace, I mean, peace of mind, tranquility. I felt freer. I didn't feel like trapped like I did when I was in England. So that's what set my intention. And that's why I always say go see, if you can, and go feel the vibration, go feel the vibe. And even though like the infrastructure wasn't as modern as England, the facilities weren't as set up as England. And of course it won't be, because England's built up of our blood, sweat and tears of our ancestors. We're the ones that developed England and made England go through, the Industrial Revolution, and strengthened England to the point of where it is now. It's still living off the legacy of slavery. It's our enslaved ancestors that built England, and also America too. So we mustn't forget that. And so I didn't expect the same standards. And to be honest with you, in some ways I was surprised, and in other ways I wasn't. And my standards and for setting of coming to Africa, because I'd already been to different countries, I already knew what to expect. And some things were like even, surpassed my expectations, and some things didn't. And that's just a fact of life. But that set my intention. So my next intention was to come back and get some land. That was my next intention. And so I came back, but unfortunately, when I came back, I didn't find the piece that fit my vibration. Very much like a feelings person. But when I came back, it really affirmed my intention to want to leave England permanently. Oh, I'm so sorry. It affirmed my intention. Sorry, Seth, can you get the gate, please? It really did. I'm just going to turn the sound off of my phone. Catherine, can you tell Seth to get the gate, please? Sorry about that. Let me do it on both phones, actually, and I hope I remember to turn them back on. That's what we say. Juliet, we can't get hold of you. Yanche, we can't get hold of you. And I turned the sound off. And I say, no, I don't understand. But then I realized I didn't turn it back on again. That's why I couldn't hear any calls. So I apologize sometimes when that happens. It's me. Sometimes I do just forget to do that occasionally. But anyway, so that set my intention. And so the second time I was disappointed. I didn't find what I wanted where I wanted it. And, I was just like, but I was determined. And the first thing I did to set my intention was to start saving and doing my feasibility study. So once I started to do my feasibility study, and I started to write things down. That is how I started. And I think it's important to have a feasibility study, because that helps you to get your mind organized, and it helps you to have your self-determination that this is going to be your destiny, and you're going to carve out what it is you want. So the first thing on my list was that finances, and how am I going to afford to move to Africa? What is the costings like? So when I came, I did a lot of investigations to find out, how much the cost of living was. Much to my surprise, it was incredibly affordable. In fact, more affordable than living in the UK. And then I thought, okay, so what else can I do to make a living? That was like, sustainability. How am I going to sustain myself? And I'm a business developer. And so I wanted to do business development. I wanted to do anything to do with business. And I like developing people's business. I like making money for people. I like turning things into a success. And I also love repatriation. And I really wanted to focus in on repatriation, because being a Garveyite, that's where my heart is. And like when you know the story about, Liberia with Marcus Garvey and the land and what happened, because he was like promised some land by King, and it didn't actually manifest. And I think it was, land with a lot of rubber trees on it. And I think it was Firestore that I think it was an Asian firm. They actually, they kind of didn't do the deal right, and he didn't end up getting it. So one of the things that I wanted to do was to ensure that I could help to facilitate that. So find affordable land that you could live on. And in fact, even now, I still do it. I still try and help people. And don't get me wrong, there are challenges, lots of challenges, because the system's not quite the same as the UK. In fact, it's far different, and sometimes it can be quite trepidatious, and sometimes it can be lengthy, and sometimes it's not. It all depends. And so, and also there are some nefarious characters sometimes, and there are some really nice people who are straightforward and honest. So, you know, it's a balance. It's a balance of both. And so, and I found this out as part of my journey. So I got obviously my own land first, and I was told about the land on the phone, but the location and where it was and what it sounded like sounded amazing. So I actually bought my land blind. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't know exactly where it was. Well, when I say I didn't know, I hadn't been to that location before. I knew it was in Gambia. I knew it was in Gambia, and where he described it, I had like an idea, but I didn't know exactly where. And that was obvious because the first time I came to find it, I got completely and totally lost. And so that was what really was my impetus, which was really I would say, the beginning of me having my trajectory and being able to say, look, I've got this land, we're going to work out what I'm going to do on it. So, I started with my plan. So my first thing I put down was my intention. My intention is to leave England and go and live in Africa. And I was going to go to Ghana, in fact, but something happened and we didn't end up going. And instead, we ended up coming to the Gambia. So when I came to the Gambia and I fell in love, this became the place of destination. And I would say go to other nations and check them out and see how you feel. Because there was like three of us. There was Kemi, there's Jen and me. And Kems went to Nigeria. Jen went to Ghana, and I came here. So all three of us were repatriating. And funny enough, and so once you wrote your plan down and said, like, this is what I'm going to do, and how can I facilitate it? So what I did was I did an asset check. So I looked at what assets did I have to start with. And everybody's got assets. If you're watching this on a computer, that's an asset. Yeah. A car might be a depreciating one, but it's still an asset. So I looked at all the assets that I had at the time that we had. I looked at my plans in terms of what would I need to do a certain thing. So, for example, I decided that I'm not going to buy a ready-made house. I had the opportunity to look at some houses online, and I wasn't really that enamored by what I saw because I'm quite creative and I like to have my own personal touch. So I wanted to find out, like, how much does it cost to build like a home? So I looked into that. How much does it cost to build a wall on the land? How much does it cost for us to fly across? So the feasibility study looked at the finances first. So I would know what I need to work towards. And remember that I was giving myself like a 5-year plan. So I didn't just jump up and go. I had a plan, but the plan was cut short. So in saying that, it wasn't quite 5 years. It was much shorter than 5 years because I heard a rumor that there was a pandemic coming in, and I chipped in 2019 in February. So I left. I left early because I was just like I didn't want to be a part of it. So I had to fast track all of the plans that we had forward. So I looked at all of the assets that we had, and looked at if we sold this vehicle, if we sold that, if we sold this, how much would we get for it? What could we do in terms of business to ramp up the income for when we get there? How much is it to rent a house for a year while we build? How much is it going to cost me to build? What do I need? What are the educational needs for our son? Lots and lots of different things I had to consider, and that's the reason why you have to plan. And I think that's the beginning, is setting your intention and writing it down. So what is it you want? Why are you leaving? That's like very important. What are your reasons? What are your motivating factors? What are the triggers that really upset you about being in your environment? And there were so many triggers for me that was upsetting me about being in my environment. I didn't feel that my children were safe. I felt very, very uncomfortable living where I was living. The racism was so extreme. Also, I just like felt that if I was a different color, I would have been, I think further ahead than I was. I felt like there was too many glass ceilings, set for you in England as a black woman, as an African woman, and as a proud African woman, as a proud black woman. I did feel, that there were too many setbacks for us. And I can't speak for everybody, because remember, they always let one through so they can say, oh, look, but he's doing well. Yeah, very well. And then they let another one through and say, oh, but he's also doing well. So those are the things. So I have my motivating factors. And I think you also need to have your motivating factors. Your motivating factors are your drivers. That's what's going to allow you to stay on course, because it's like you have an objective, you have to have a target, and you have to stay on that target. So the first thing you have to do is set your objectives, set your intentions. That is the first thing. Why do you want to go, and what do you want to do? And then start to look at what my assets, what do I have? I had a lot of jewelry at the time that I hardly ever wore, but I had it. And so I thought, but why am I keeping this jewelry? I don't really wear it. And why have I got all this stuff? I have so much things, and you know, and things that I just, I think sometimes you have things in excess, and I had things in excess, and I realized I didn't need them. So I started an eBay like shop and started to sell things on eBay. I also decided that I was going to start another little side job, doing some advice on an advice line on a weekend when I wasn't working during the week. And I just started to work out how much was needed in order to create the extra income to ensure that I had the bulk of money that I wanted. Also, I looked at property, and also disposing of assets, property assets as well, so that I could build the house. So there's that. But sometimes people don't need much. So I just want to go through, because I want to finish in like, say, a few minutes now. But I just want to say, like, some people buy their piece of land and it's just them, and they buy like, build a house which is like a studio apartment, and you can do that really relatively cheaply, and then you don't have to worry about rent, and you don't have to worry about a mortgage. It doesn't have to be a big swanky house. You can build like, a single floor studio apartment and be happy with it. And remember that you have outdoor cooking as well. Yeah. And so you can just build a veranda around it and have a barbecue. You can have like a kitchen, bathroom, and sort of uh, bedroom come living room combined. I have a roundhouse design, which is optimum for that. It's a two-bedroom one, but it can be made into a one-bedroom, and it's an optimum low expense eco build. So if you want us to help you with that, we have partnered with um, a fantastic construction company, and they'll be able to build those on your behalf at really good rates, a really good cost. So, that was something that I personally designed. So this is something that I actually designed myself. And so I love designing things. I have a creative streak. So, even when you're thinking about leaving and you're going to put your intention down, draw your house or draw your studio or draw your roundhouse or, draw your container home or your corn cob home or your earth ship. Whatever it is your fantasy is, your dream is, and manifest it and put that down as your intention. So I want to leave when. When do you want to go? That's another thing. Set your intention. How long is it going to take you to get prepared? And remember that I told you something is coming. There are things that are going to be changing drastically soon. So 2025 is going to be a very 2025 is going to be a very interesting year, particularly the end of it. So I'm just saying to you. So start making your plans and look at how you can work with others and join your plans with others. We have to start trusting and loving each other more. There's too much dissension in our community, too much backbiting, too much catfighting, too much jealousy, and way too much pulling each other's down, as Booker T. Washington said, too many crabs in the barrel. And we have to get away from that if we want to unify and come back to Africa. We have to get together. If Marcus Garvey could unite 6 million people across the globe, and Marcus Garvey had 1,000 chapters around the world, and he had over 600 businesses, why can't we? If he could do that from 1920 onwards, why can't we? Yeah. So Marcus Garvey died in 1940 in England, and look what he achieved in his short lifetime. So if he can revolutionize the world, so can we. So you start with your intention, and your intention has to be a Garveyite intention, and that is to come home, to BlaXit back to Africa. That is where it's at. That's what it's about. So I also know that there's been a lot of interference with regard to the channel, and as soon as I announce a live, then it's kind of blocked. But it's no worry. I just want to get the message out there. So set your intention to return. That's what this program is about. That's your foundation. Your foundation is your intention. And then get that piece of paper and write it down. I am going to leave this country, whether it's America, New York, California, LA, Mexico. It doesn't matter where you are, even in the Caribbean. If you want to come back to Africa, you want to return back to Africa, then you can. Africa is your home. Africa is your home. You have a choice. Africa is like a mansion of many rooms, 54 countries. Come on, choose one. And if you don't want to come to stay, come to see. At least fulfill the circle, fulfill your destiny. So please set your intention. When are you coming? How much will it cost you? How do you intend to live? How do you intend to survive? And most of all, if you're not sure about what I'm saying, just send me an email. Okay? Just send me an email. We have really affordable lands at the moment. We have 6 plots in Bussorah, 6 plots, 20 by 20. And yes, there is a payment plan. So if you cannot afford to pay it all at once, we have a payment plan. Okay? And the owner is lovely. Okay? The owner of the land, she is really nice. I know her very well. So I would say, please, 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 make tracks and try and come back. There's also great land in Gunjur. There's still 4 plots left on the Mango Paradise estate. There's still 4 plots left on the Mango Paradise estate. And there's also a beautiful plot on the Sea Road as well. And there's also 1 plot in Orange Grove. Okay, there's also plots, affordable plots in Brikama, which you can also do a payment plan on. So come on. There's no excuse. We're making it affordable. We're making it easy for you. We're setting those intentions for you. So you don't have to pay all at once. You can get your land and gradually come. Okay, so we're just saying, please, just whatever you do, come home. Okay, come home. Yeah, set your intentions, set your foundation, and come home. Thank you, BlaXit family. I love you so much. And like I said, no matter how they block us, yeah, they can't stop us. We will rise. Okay. So remember that we're one nation, one people, one destiny, one love. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for watching. And like I said, speedy recovery to you over there in hospital, KD. We wish you well. And I'm sure you'll be seeing visitors soon.